Sergeant and Mr. Smith, you're gonna love this house.
Bunk beds in a closet?
There's no field manual for finding the right home. But when you do, USAA Homeowners Insurance can help protect it the right way. Restrictions apply.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
It's that time again when we fill your heads and your souls full of sequel goodness.
More badness.
You've ruined my introduction. I really felt I was on for something there. I thought, I'm in this, I'm in the zone. And I was going to introduce, my name is Dave. So I was going to say hi. And then I was going to say, and the other voice you're about to hear is Rich. And then you were going to say...
Hi, hello.
And then I was going to welcome them all. But don't worry about it now, you ruined it. How do you feel?
I mean, pretty proud of myself, to be fair. I've got to get a little revenge on you for like springing movie synopsis on me every now and then.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you plan this one?
Well, I've not had much time to plan it, Dave, because I've only just watched it.
Do you want to tell the audience what we're doing on this episode?
Yeah, so it turns out that 10 years ago, pretty much today.
No, it is today.
It is today, is it?
10 years ago. The day we're recording, anyway.
Today.
Yeah, recording date.
Bourne Legacy was released.
Yeah.
Now, this is the fourth one of the Bourne franchise, and it doesn't have Matt Damon in it.
The one that doesn't get spoken about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's good when we do anniversary specials of films, sequels that maybe people haven't watched for a while, or even pretty much
never seen it
forgot.
Before. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we can jump into it and talk about it and look at this weird sequel, reboot, reimagining, whatever the fuck this is.
Well, I don't think it's a reboot or a reimagining, actually. I think it's...
So you think this is a direct sequel?
Well, it takes place in the world, doesn't it? So
yes,
and
it overlaps.
Jason Bourne is mentioned in it. Yeah, overlaps the third one. And Jason Bourne is mentioned in it. There are photos of him. He's just not in it. And obviously, Paul Greengrass isn't directing. You know, Matt Damon's not actually in it. So it's a strange one.
Basically, Greengrass said he wouldn't come back to do a fourth one.
Yeah.
And then Damon said he wouldn't make another one without Paul Greengrass.
Yeah.
So they were both out. And then the co-writer of the original trilogy wrote this one. I think this was greenlit. It was going to happen anyway because the original trilogy is good. It's a great trilogy. It's a very strong trilogy. Again, listeners, no one has really brought it up.
No.
In our interview episodes.
I think it has ups and downs. I wouldn't say it was a great trilogy.
I think it's a strong trilogy.
Yeah, upper middle, I would say.
Yeah.
So I can see why it's not going to be anyone's worst and also not anyone's best.
Yeah, maybe best. What is your relationship with the Bourne stuff? You ain't got one.
Well, no, the first one, Bourne Identity, like completely changed the kind of genre, didn't it? Really,
it did. It did.
Like it went from. So before that, we had James Bond and all the gadgets and all that kind of stuff, and this brought in Jason Bourne, who did physical fighting and parkour.
And it was Matt Damon being an action star, which was also
which was weird.
A new route for him.
I'm gonna have a really hot take on this in a minute. When we get talking into this, and you're gonna like roll your eyes and tut at me.
I'm about to say, out of the original trilogy, actually, because there's a fifth one, isn't there? The Jason Bourne, which is also forgettable.
Is that a TV show or is that a?
No, there's one with Matt Damon afterwards.
Oh, is there?
Well. And Greengrass comes up. And it's just called Jason Bourne.
So they do come back for another one.
Yeah.
And then isn't there a TV show with like John Krasinski in it as well, or was that a movie?
Who's John Krasinski?
Jim from The Office.
No, that's Jack Ryan.
Oh, that's Jack. Right, okay. I get confused.
There is a TV series called Treadstone.
Oh, right, okay.
I only found about this yesterday. I was like, and it only survived for one season before it got cancelled. So, yeah. So out of those four, not this one, rank them for me. Do a quick ranking if you can remember them.
Well, I don't. I've never seen the Jason Bourne one.
Okay,
so
let's go with the original trilogy then.
So the original.
Let's go.
I think it goes 1, 2, 3, doesn't it? The original trilogy in terms of.
See,
ranking.
I had a lot of hate for the first one for many years.
Oh, really?
And it had nothing against the film. My two best mates said, "Do you want to go to the cinema tonight?" I was like, "Oh, wicked! I get to go to the cinema with two best mates." They both turned up with their girlfriends, and I was the fifth wheel. So I wasn't really, and then I really hated Moby at that point.
Right.
And it's full of Moby. It's took me years to actually come around to actually admitting Bourne Identity is a great film. I don't think it's the best one. I think the second one's the best one.
I think it's the best one. But I haven't watched any of them for a long time. So, So were you confused what was going on in this one? Yeah, mostly. But actually, I sort of took it as watching it as a kind of a standalone film, which I think it's better if you do. If you don't think of it as part of the Bourne franchise so much. I disagree. I think you need to know what's going on with the Bourne stuff. I was watching it, I was like, this has nothing for new fans. Oh, okay. You'd be well confused. Like, who's this Jason Bourne fellow? What's they talking about? This Treadstone and Blackbriar? Yeah, true. They do talk about that stuff. But and suddenly, there's an enhanced humans. So give us a synopsis of what happens in Bourne Legacy. So, Bourne Legacy. Here we go. I'm going to try my best here because remember, I've seen this movie for the very first time today. And literally a couple of hours ago. So it should be fresh. Fresh, but also I've not had time to think about it. So probably a good thing. It's it takes place at the same time as the third Bourne movie, essentially, when they decide to shut down all the operation, essentially. Mm-hmm. So it turns out that Jason Bourne obviously is not the only operative. There's also a Black Ops program called Operation Outcome. Shittest name for an operation ever. Operations have outcomes. They aren't outcomes. That's weird. And it turns out there are Operation Outcomes operatives across the globe. One of them is Jeremy Renner, whose character name is Aaron Cross. Aaron Cross, thank you. I was getting there. He's been sent to Alaska for a training exercise for some reason. I think it's like a punishment or something. It is a punishment, yeah. And he basically has to travel across Alaska, get away from a pack of wolves who appear to be hunting him, and he meets up with Oscar Isaac in a cabin. Yeah, for some reason. Right, I forgot he was in it. Yeah. I was quite surprised when he popped up. Early Oscar Isaac, yeah. Yeah, and so basically, the way they've shut the operation down is that they're basically killing off all the operatives. So most of them they give this like yellow pill. If you've watched Bourne, you'll know about the green pill and the blue pills. Are they in the green pill? Are they in Bourne? I thought they were in Bourne, aren't they? No, I don't think so. These are enhanced human. These are I think Jason Bourne's just normal. I won't call him normal, but he's been trained to be the deadly assassin. There's no pill taking in the other three. Is there not? I don't think so. Okay. Right. I'm probably massively wrong. This is when I was like, you're missing a massive thing that now these operatives have red pills and blue pills to make them more enhanced. Yeah, so more intelligent. The way it explains it is that, the blue pills make them more intelligent. The green pills make them physically stronger. But there is a way where they've developed where they get an injection and they don't need the pills anymore. But anyway, to shut the operation down, they give the operatives these yellow pills, apart from obviously Oscar Isaac and Jeremy Renner, because they're all the way off in Alaska. So they send a drone to blow them up. Drone blows up Oscar Isaac, and then Jeremy Renner force feeds his tracking chip to a wolf. Cool. Which the drone then blows the wolf up, and then Jeremy Renner's on the run to get himself some more chems. The pills are called chems, so that he can keep his intelligence, because it turns out that actually he's, in real life, has a very low IQ. Yeah. So low that he wasn't clever enough to get into the military. He was below the IQ standard, so he doesn't want to go back to having a low IQ. Yeah, and on the way, he recruits Rachel Weisz, who's a scientist who comes up with the part of the team that came up with the chems in the first place, in the systems. Her team's killed off. One of the scientists on her team was kind of being controlled and he killed off the rest of their team.
Did I miss a bit how he was being controlled?
It didn't really say how he was being controlled. They just sort of said he was.
He just suddenly looked, his eyebrows went up and went evil.
Like, and
he
went off on one. And then they have to escape from Treadstone, Blackbriar, Defense Department dudes, and
CIA,
and
FBI.
how they can get away, and yeah, that's it. That's the movie, pretty much, without giving you any spoilers about what happens.
I think we can give spoilers. These are definitely, we can give spoilers on the anniversary episodes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that later though. But that's there you go. That's the
They end up in Manila.
Yes,
in a car
they do.
chase.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and it turns out
at the end, Moby still plays.
Yeah,
So.
You love a bit of Moby.
Fucking hate Moby. I just want to quickly say that this has the worst freeze frame start of any movie I've ever seen. Because they try and represent the beginning of Bourne when Bourne's floating in the water with a body and he gets picked up.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on with that.
It's not well done either.
No,
they try and edit it so he looks like he's on water, but really what he's doing, he's diving down to catch whatever in Alaska. But it's really awkward and really, not great.
I was like, what is he? What?
It looks like it's but I was like, oh, that's what they're going for. They're going for the start of the Bourne identity.
Right. I'm going to get my hot take out of the way.
Are you going to tell me Jeremy Renner is better
on.
than Matt Damon?
Yes, I am. I think Jeremy Renner is a more believable Black Ops soldier than Matt Damon.
I respect you and your choices, but just before me, you told me you didn't like Moonfall, so... I think
I'm in the majority of not liking Moonfall. Sure.
Yeah, Moonfall's not a good film. Okay, it's not a good film, but I did enjoy it for the crazy, stupid reasons. But I got nothing against Jeremy Renner. Again, we've spoken about this in 28 Weeks Later or something.
We have.
No one likes him, but he's great. He's good. He's a good actor, and this was when he was hot.
And do you know what? I just think he's a more believable Black Ops operative than Jason Bourne. I think he's got that kind of slightly more grizzled, look about him that looks like he's been in a couple of wars, kind of thing.
I don't know. I find Matt Damon quite believable as Jason Bourne. I don't know if I'm going to be able to accept this. Give me a few minutes. I might come back to it.
Matt Damon always just felt just a little bit too pretty and fresh-faced. He didn't look like he'd seen action. You know,
that is a good thing about Rayner. He does look like he's seen action.
He does.
If anything, the older he's getting, less action he looks like he's seen.
Yes, that's true.
At this point,
this is straight out
Protocol, The Town,
Hurt Locker
era.
Yeah,
he was good. I thought I enjoyed his role in this. I wouldn't say it's as good as Jason Bourne or Matt Damon.
No, I'm not saying the character's as good. I just think if Jeremy Renner had been Jason Bourne, I can see it. I could see it better, you know. But that's my hot take for the day. There you go.
Okay. Did you think this was better than any of the other Bourne films you've watched?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Did you?
We're back on. No, we're definitely not. But I think this is better than the one that Greengrass and Damon came back to.
I've not seen that, so I don't know.
I literally think this is the best.
Okay.
Fourth Jason Bourne. How do you think this slots into the Bourne world franchise? Because it's a weird. I still think it's a bit weird.
I think it's a sidequel. I think is the best way of calling it.
Oh, I like it.
Is it like it's an offshoot of like Bourne's here, and this kind of comes off. You can't see this because people listening, because I'm doing hands gestures, but yeah, I think it's a sidequel. It's not part of the Bourne story. Doesn't need it. The Bourne story carries on without this completely, and this kind of offshoots of the Bourne story.
Do you think they plan to have more offshoots? Like
I think they probably did.
Everything I've read, this made profit.
Well, this is the thing. I think they were trying to make
it didn't get an awful drubbing.
No, I think they were trying to make it a true franchise. And a true franchise is you don't need one character. You can shoot off. You can have offshoots. Think about like the MCU. You know, it doesn't have to be Iron Man all the way through in everything. You know, it can be different characters and have offshoots, but still be linked. And I think that's what they were trying to do here, is to create a true franchise where you don't need Jason Bourne in the franchise.
No, I ain't got a problem with that. But do you think they were going to plan to? Why is there not like a Bourne Legacy too?
don't think that this was critically well received enough, potentially.
But it made its money back. It made a profit,
and that's why I think
it made more money than the studio thought it was going to make.
And that's why I think that Jason Bourne and Paul Greengrass got another one, because this one made money. And so I thought, and then that didn't make much money, though, did it?
No, that did not. So you reckon that one piggybacked on Legacy and Rayner's success?
I do,
yeah.
Do
you think there's a world where one day they'll put these together?
No. I
was watching that. I was like,
I think Bourne's.
I know you were just talking about offshoots, but
isn't it?
Everyone loves crossovers.
True.
No, you reckon? I think the time is gone now.
Yeah, I think it's probably gone. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it would be very strange. I don't know. I think we're past Bourne now, aren't we? I think so I think Bourne kind of gave us a new kind of James Bond, essentially. So James Bond was all about the gadgets and that kind of the cars and stuff, and then Bourne came along and he was all about like fist fights and stuff, and then I think things like John Wick have come along and been all about like the cool gun moves and stuff. And now Bourne looks kind of outdated, and I think there's things like Homeland and stuff like that, which have made it a bit more cerebral and a bit cleverer rather than just hand-to-hand combat all the time. And so I think maybe Bourne looks a bit dated these days. I think we're past it. Yeah,
but he still kills people with pens and pencils.
Well, yeah,
but I don't think any of that was really in this film, but maybe that's not what they were going for.
No.
I've read somewhere they tried to make this more realistic, but in my head that made it a less exciting movie.
I think the problem with this movie is that it's all over the place. I think it feels like a bit of a mess.
It does feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't know who's who most of it.
No.
People keep talking to people that I don't know who they are and what they're complaining about.
Yeah.
I think that's the real problem.
Assumes that you pick things up really quickly.
I still don't know who Edward Norton is.
And it's clear that the audience cannot be trusted to pick things up this quickly, because I just don't think it's,
streamlined.
No, it's not. It felt a bit, I'm going to sound like you now, felt a bit too long.
Because it was over 2 hours,
but it doesn't feel like it's weird, because I like the start and I kind of like the end, but the stuff in the middle you could just get rid of. But it's
I liked the end. I liked when they were on the run,
but it felt like a very quick ending. Like the pacing isn't right. It felt like a very long middle and a very short end. And it's like bang, done.
I was watching it when my wife was in the room, and then it ended, and she was like, "Is that it?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, they just get away.
Yeah,
they just get away on a. That's pretty much it.
That's it. Yeah,
and there seems to be no consequences or
no,
really.
Yeah,
like I was asking her, do you think there'll be a sequel? But they don't really leave it open for the sequel.
They sort of do, I think.
Well, he's alive, so there we go.
I don't think they set it up for a sequel for Jeremy Renner's character. I think they set it up for a sequel for the baddies to get their comeuppance kind of thing.
Well, that would be exciting, wouldn't it?
Because they don't, do they?
All those people you don't care about.
But yeah,
that's rich white men all over.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. It's definitely not a good movie, but it's basically it's got elements that I quite liked.
Rachel Weisz, is that an element?
I really like Rachel Weisz, but
underwritten and
she's definitely underwritten, but
deer in headlights kind of thing.
Yeah.
But is that meant to be her character?
I don't know. I guess she is like. There's one bit of it that I really fucking hated, which is a bit where she just screams like his name that the police are coming. Like, it's like,
well, she had to let him know.
I
that
know,
the police
but she's supposed to be a really clever scientist. Could she not have like let him know in another way that wasn't like,
or about caca, or something like that?
I don't know, but I don't know. It just felt like jarring. Like, don't know, just unsatisfactory.
Do you think they had good chemistry, those two, Weisz and?
Not really.
And
did you?
Yeah, not really. It's not the worst I've ever experienced. The worst I've ever seen in this kind of movies is Transporter 3 with Statham and the Russian girl. Is just.
I think they had. No, I don't think they had any chemistry at all. Really, I think they maybe it was coming towards the end. Maybe the chemistry was coming by sort of the bike chase end sequence. I think potentially there was chemistry was coming.
Do you feel like when we've seen bike chases like that and runs and chases on the roofs and stuff is kind of stuff we've seen before, though.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
think this
Nothing. There's
do you
nothing
think-
new.
But say, do you think this delivers or offers anything new?
Nah, no, nothing new. If you've seen,
And I think that's the problem, isn't it?
if you've seen a Mission Impossible movie, if you've seen a Bourne movie, if you've seen a new Bond movie, you've seen all this stuff. You know, yeah,
And they were doing it better,
yeah.
really.
Rooftop chase with parkour, tick. Motorbike chase, tick. Like, some sort of running across like exploding ice and tick. Like, you know, it's just it's all been done. Fast and Furious has done it, for God's sake. You know?
Oh my God, yeah.
There's nothing new. Definitely not.
Do you think it's weird that Rayner was in all these franchises at this point? So he was at this point, he just got signed up for Marvel. He did this. He was in that Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
After Hurt Locker, he was just really hot property, and everyone wanted him.
Yeah, and he was great, and he was great in the Town, the Ben Affleck film.
Yeah, and I
That's
think
a great
people have he just like went, sod it, you know, you don't get his offers every day. I'll take all the money I can, please. Thank you very much. You know, why not? Like, you would, wouldn't you? I would.
And to be fair to all those roles, he does them all very well.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what he does in any of those movies.
I mean, yeah, he's a bit of a weird guy, like in real life.
What's the song that he released? Isn't it called Heaven Hasn't Got a Name or
Something
something?
like that. But he's got his own social network and stuff, hasn't he?
I think that got shut down because
did it?
People jumped upon it. Yeah. You can get like Jeremy Renner coins and tokens.
Oh, that's just strange. I don't
cash him in. But I've listened to him sing. He can sing.
Yeah, but he's got no charisma.
He does lack a little bit of that, which is weird because I think when he's Hawkeye, he does have charisma.
He can act. When he's got charisma, he's acting. You know, he can act charisma. I don't think he's got any kind of charisma when he's doing any kind of
when he's an actual person.
Yeah, his real life. Sorry, Jeremy Renner, if you're listening. I do think you're a good actor. I just think you need to calm down with all the other bullshit, mate. Just stick to acting, buddy.
Yeah, I think he's good.
Yeah.
How well do you think this is aged? Because this is 10 years now.
Do you know what? I think it was all right. Like, I didn't notice that it was 10 years old. You know, I think it was fine. Other than Oscar Isaac looking really young. Like,
bless him, yeah. Would you have rather had Oscar Isaac play the part of Aaron Cross than swap them round?
No.
I think a lot of people would have done.
I think Jeremy Renner's good. Like, I don't know. Yeah, no. I'm happy with the cast.
Would you have liked to see Jeremy Renner fight more wolves? Or are we leaning into Liam Neeson in The Grey?
I don't know. I've not seen that, but...
It's not the most exciting of beginnings, is it?
No. And it's not vastly well explained either, is it? Like, again, it's like, is in Alaska up a mountain for some reason?
Well, you learn all that from the boring conversation he has with Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
who plays a very
really
unlikable.
Yeah.
That talking about bad chemistry.
Well, I think
I know
that
they're meant to be standoffish to each other.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, in that case, great job, guys.
Yeah, because they're not because agents aren't supposed to meet each other, are they? And I think that's for a reason.
They're meant to like each other. Maybe they have a little catch up and be like, God, isn't it hard? The drugs, hey.
I think they've just been taught to distrust each other so much that they're never likely to get on. So yeah, I don't know. I thought that was quite authentic, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad. I'm going to ask you a quick question. It's our higher or lower game.
Okay.
Of Rotten Tomato scores.
Oh, right. Here we go.
Critical.
I think before we do that, we do have to
do your thing.
We do have to, whenever we do this, to be not excused of plagiarism, we have to quote our sources to say that we have slightly stolen this from Sequelizers.
But we've also slightly stole it from The Price is Right.
Yes,
or
that is
Play Your Cards
true.
Right,
yeah,
or whether
yeah.
it. Bruce, I think Bruce Forsyth in my head when I do this. Higher or lower, and do the But yeah, Sequelizers do something very similar.
Yeah,
and they're brilliant at it because
we're not quite the same, but
we're not as organised. Jesus Christ!
Come on. Right, let's do this.
We're gonna go critics, and then I'll let you know what the audience thinks. So,
okay,
critics higher or lower. I'm gonna give you Bourne Identity, and you're gonna higher or lower than Bourne Identity.
Okay, all right.
84%.
Bourne Identity was 84%.
84%.
Lower for the next one.
Well, Bourne's 82%. You're right. Higher or lower on 82%.
Lower again.
You are incorrect.
Oh, really?
92%.
And that's what Bourne Supremacy, is it?
No, that's Bourne Ultimatum.
Bourne Ultimatum.
Supremacy is the second one. Ultimatum.
I think Ultimatum gets extra points because it's got Paddy Constantine in it, and he's obviously awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one recently, but I think I should. But that's 20 years old or something at the moment. Okay, we'll go on to Bourne Legacy.
And lower. Got to be lower, surely.
Yeah, you are right. 55%. So,
Okay. And the one I've not seen.
Jason Bourne, higher or lower?
I've never seen it, so I don't know. But just going off your reaction, I'm going to say lower.
54%. You're correct.
Just...
And now in this list, they do have the TV series as well, Treadstone.
Okay.
So
just again going off the fact that I've never heard of it, but then 54 is quite low. I'll say higher.
You're wrong. It's 47%.
Wow, it must be.
So that's
bad.
critics, and I'll just quickly go through the audience score. Again, we all remember that Rotten Tomato is crazy and doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
So, Bourne Identity audience score 93%, high. Bourne Supremacy 90%.
Okay. Yeah.
Bourne Ultimatum 91%.
Okay. Right.
Bourne Legacy 58%. So that is higher than the critics' choice.
But still low.
Jason Bourne 55%.
Oh.
And then Treadstone, the TV series, 72%.
Okay, all right.
It's a real mixed bag.
More than the critics did.
Mixed bag, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. Do you know what? I don't think it would take a lot to like make Bourne Legacy better. You know, I don't think it would say we gave it to talking of sequelizers. If you gave it to the sequelizers to fix as a bad sequel, I think there are some elements there to make this fixable. You know, I don't think it's a complete write-off. What do you think doesn't work about Legacy?
Is it the plot?
It doesn't. Yeah,
it's quite big.
One, it's the plot. Yeah. Two, it's just all over the place. Like, and it's the disjointedness, and it's the pacing as well.
The little tidbits of the Bourne characters really confused me. I was like, oh, okay. We see Joe Allen at the end. You see the Dathan.
Exactly. I think you should just sort of mention the fact that Jason Bourne exists and then not mention him again, essentially. I don't think you need him. If you're going to do a sidequel, just let this character be this character. But yeah, anyway, I think it could be fixed. I don't think it's beyond the realms, but I don't think it's a great movie.
The tagline for Bourne Legacy was, there was never just one. And honestly, I never assumed there was just one because
me neither.
Bourne himself was always fighting people like himself.
Yeah. We know
so
from
it
the
doesn't
Bourne
surprise me that
more than one.
There's more operatives and undercover, people like him in the world. There probably are in the real world. I'm not quite sure if they're like super agents or whatever, but that's a stupid tagline. When this was released, I remember 2012, I remember it being really, really badly handled in the press, as in release.
Oh, right.
One, people were like, oh, there's no Matt Damon or Greengrass, so the interest wasn't there. Rayner was on a bit of a hot streak, so he helped.
It would almost be good.
I think it was all
to call it a Bourne movie.
I wouldn't call it Bourne Legacy. I would have called it
just call it Legacy.
Oh yeah, and then maybe like they do now with some franchises. I don't know, a Bourne film underneath, like a little bit.
I wouldn't even do that. I would do like a 10 Cloverfield Lane on it and just call it Legacy and not let people find out until they're in there that it's a Bourne film.
You might as well call it Treadstone more than Bourne at this point. Or
well, yeah. I mean, you don't even. I wouldn't even mention in any trailers. I'd leave it a complete surprise, and then people will come out of it going, "Oh my god, it was a bloody Bourne film."
Do you mean like a little bit like the end of Split? When it was suddenly turned to be like in the untouchable realm. I think that would be
absolutely
when it was doomed to fail right from the off before they even released it, because it was always going to be compared to the other three, which are, again, solid films, big fan bases, people love them. Like you said, that set the tone of why James Bond's now like James Bond, why Mission Impossible is like Mission Impossible. The Bournes were the originators. They did a lot of hard work. So when this was released, it was never going to get a fair crack at the whip, was it? It was. Sometimes I feel quite sorry for it.
No, I do. I think there's a nugget of a good film.
Because the cast are good. I mean, it's a great cast. I mean, they don't all link, but on a better film, they might do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, a better script, a better plot, and they probably would.
because these are good people. Stacey Keach, Edward Norton, Rachel Weisz, Oscar Isaac.
Doable.
It's directed by the guy who did the reshoots of Rogue One. He wrote all the Bourne films. So he should know the Bourne films inside out, pretty much.
Okay, but
It's a tough one. Who would you like to have seen to do this film then? Is there any directors or writers out there you thought, oh, that'd be interesting?
oh god, no.
I put you right on there.
I don't know, Dave. I'm not a fountain of knowledge when it comes to directors. That's the problem. Is that I'm not.
Well, my
I'm
answer's
not
always
very
Steven
good on
Spielberg,
that.
so I'm,
Well, yeah, I mean, like, this is like when the Sequelizers guys asked me to be on their live stream, and they were like, "Oh yeah, pick a director you really like," and I was like, "Kevin Smith."
yeah, he would not make this a good version of this film.
I was like, I mean, I like writers. I could have Aaron Sorkin. I was like,
I watched that.
but yeah, it's not really, I'm not very good at directors.
No,
I'm not very good at kind of,
Especially
knowing
up-and-coming
who's good
ones.
at what.
Who was
Yeah,
big in
sorry.
2012? I'm not quite sure at that point when it came out. I don't know.
idea. Catherine Bigelow, she'd have been good.
Bigelow would have been great, actually. Yeah, she would have worked with Jimmy Renner.
With Renner, yeah.
She makes good films. Unequal sequel, yes or no? It's a tough one, this question.
Yeah, because it isn't as good as the third Bourne movie. So, no, yeah, it is unequal.
Yeah.
It's not as good.
And out of 7, what would you give it?
Like you say, I feel sorry for it, so I'd want to give it a decent score, but it's such a mess that I can't, like, 2.5, maybe.
Okay, I was going to go clearly. I was going to go nicer at 3, I think. It's such a middle-of-the-road film.
Yeah.
It's also, I have to say, quite forgettable.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty forgettable.
You kind of
You're not
forget that
wrong.
it's part of the Bourne films. To be fair, you forget that Jason Bourne, the fifth film, is also part. When people talk about the Bourne films, they just think about that trilogy.
The trilogy, yeah.
It won't be remembered, I'm afraid.
No.
Not by me or
It's a
any
shame
others.
because, like I say, there could have been a good movie in that.
And I appreciate that they're trying to build a universe, because every studio wants, a franchise to spike off and do well. But I think this one, the world might have ran dry, and there's no one really screaming out for another one at the moment.
Shame.
I would give it a 3, but a forgettable 3.
I think that's probably fair. I'm sticking at 2.5, but I think I can understand where you went.
That's fair enough.
You're nicer than I am.
I'd love to know what other people think, and if they remember it, or if they know it exists. I'd love it. Some
that's
people were
true.
like, I didn't know there was a Bourne spin-off.
Well, I'd certainly
sequel.
never seen it. I was kind of aware that it existed, but I'd never seen it.
No. But did you ever have a drive to watch it? If you were watching
No.
the Jason Bourne films, would you include it in your rewatches?
I probably would now, yeah.
But before?
But I was never... No, probably not. I don't really know, because I was never massively into the Bourne films. I thought the first one was good, and then it kind of lost... I lost interest for the other two. I have seen the other two, but...
This is so you because you don't like even though I don't like Bonds, I like spy thrillers.
Yeah,
and it's taken
not
you so
really
long
my
to
bag, baby.
like Mission Impossible. Yeah, it's not your bag, and I appreciate that. So,
Yeah, but there we are.
yeah.
But so, yeah, it was all right. It was all right,
Put that on the poster.
but it wasn't great.
Put that on the poster.
Yeah, put that on the poster. It's all right. But it's not great. Could be better. Could do better.
It pass a couple of hours, but you'll probably get bored by the end of it and turn it off.
If you think we're not bad, and this episode's been not bad, maybe you think it's even been great,
Ooh.
then we've got loads of other episodes you can go back and listen to. There's like 100 odd episodes for you to go back and listen to, including 3 series worth of interview episodes with brilliant guests. They're really great because there's less of me and Dave and more of really interesting people you want to listen to.
They're great.
So go back and listen to them, and while you're there, click the little subscribe button, and every time we have a new episode, it'll drop into your inbox, and you'll be like, oh, look, a nice little treat from Unequal Sequel. Also, while you happen to be there, if you do enjoy it, give us a little rating, like 5 stars or a like, or a little tick. And if you do feel like writing us a review, we would love you forever. If you want to get in touch with us and tell us what you think about Bourne Legacy, we're on social media. We're at Unequal Sequel on Twitter and on Instagram, or you can send us an email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com.
Perfect. Well done, mate. If I really want to know what people's opinions of this film are, and we will read them out if anyone sends any of them to us on our end of month special. Will we not, Rich? Because
Yeah, definitely.
But is this before or after? We really
No, this is before our end of month special, so we're not going to read. So yeah, you probably want to.
I will change that.
This is coming out before our end of month special, but we've already recorded our end of month special, so we won't be able to mention.
I mean,
it.
still send stuff in. This is brilliant. Thank you for listening.
Oh, you should probably cut all that out.
Yeah.
You won't know, but you should.
I might let you edit it, and you can do it.
Nice.
Thank you for listening, everyone. I really appreciate all the downloads, blah, blah, blah. We love it all. Thank you all for getting in contact. Keep that up. I've got nothing else to say. You got anything to say, Rich?
Nope.
No. So it's a tinkety tonk and down with the Nazis from me.
Love it.
Yeah. That's that. People who know what that is. And is a bye from him.
Bye!
Go on. Go make a cake. You know you want to. I'm hungry.
It's too hot for that. God damn, don't put the oven on. Crikey.